All right, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow with another flipping video. Today, I'm going to be talking about AFK flipping and how you can find items that are easy to flip. Now, I've showed you guys before how to do quick flips, and some of you guys had success with that, but some of you didn't. But I'm going to show you how to find items that you can constantly flip and know when it's a good buy. So, for example, the first one we're going to jump right into here, and this is a really good one, the zombie axe. So if you're looking at the zombie axe right now, you can buy it for around this much at the bottom, $16.58, and you could sell it for this. Not that great of a profit, about 4%, not terrible. But if you look at the monthly chart, I'll show you guys a little secret. You see these big dips here? Pretty much every weekend, it dips, usually to the 1600s, and then it snaps back during the week, and then it dips again. So right now I'm recording this, it's Sunday night. Right now the price is the mid 1600s. But if you look 2 days ago, it was almost 1957. So right there, it's almost 2 mil. So if you bought it for 1650 and you flipped it for 2 mil a couple days later, you'd make 350,000 per flip. So right now I'm buying like as many of these as I can. I flip them. And then like if I buy 20 and flip them, I'll make like, I don't know, 20 times 350K, like 7 mil, about 7 mil. With literally zero effort. So what I'll do is on the weekends, I am constantly buying zombie axes, anything below 1.7 mil. So anything in the 1600s, sometimes it even dips into the 1500s. And I buy them and then I'll flip them during the week. I'll just set a sell price just below 1900 or at 1900, and they'll just constantly sell throughout the week, making me passive income. So I've showed you guys before in other videos how you can find items that are good to flip quickly, but this video is going to be more geared towards finding items that are good to just constantly buy and sell. Maybe they flip during the weekend, stuff like that. So if not every item is going to have a perfect pattern of dipping during the weekends, sometimes they will, but the best example I've found has been that zombie axe. But like I like to buy odium wards. This is another good one. They sell pretty regularly. They're pretty expensive, right? But if you go to the 30-day, any of these dips, that's kind of what you're looking for. So like right now it's kind of steady. I wouldn't buy it. But if you look like a little while ago, I was buying it for like 4.6. Back here, I was buying it almost like 4.3, and then I would just flip it right at 5. So if I was buying it this 4.3, even if you get a little higher, let's say 4.5, right? Every single one you flip, if you flip it for 5 mil, or right now it's 5.1 mil, that'd be 600K per flip. That's about 10%. So if you bought 10 odium wards at 4.5 mil, you'd make 600K per each one. So if you bought 10 of them, that'd be $6 million. And the more you do this, the more money you'll get to be able to do this. Obviously, this takes into account that you have to have some starting capital to be able to do this. But you guys do seem like you're really interested in learning more about flipping. Some of you guys, this is a little more in depth, but I just wanted to show you guys some other examples. Okay, so this is my favorite list. You guys can feel free to use these things. Most of these are some things that are worth keeping an eye on. I'm not going to say everything in here is great, but most of the things that are in here, I have had success flipping at some point. Like you guys know, I love failing axes. Right now, I'm not going to lie, they're in a little bit of a lull. They're kind of dipping in price. It's kind of hurt my feelings. But for a while, if you see the distance between the yellow and the orange is pretty constant, like they're always about 100K apart, right? So when you look at these, so usually I'll just set my buy at the low price, and then I'll flip it for 100 or 150K per, and just have a constant buy sell going of rune failing axes. Unfortunately, right now, the price is down quite a bit, so I'm not making a ton of money there. But I have also had them where I bought them right around like 1.7 and it bounced up pretty high, all the way up to 2 mil, 2.5 mil, something like that. And that's when you can make some really big money. But you see the gap is kind of wide, so that's when you might be able to flip it just based on margin. You always want the return on investment if you're going to quick flip. This is not really about quick flipping this video, but you always want the ROI to be at least 3%. Otherwise, you're pretty much going to be losing money and it's not worth your time. All right, now some of you guys probably have no idea what I'm looking at here, but this is the RuneScape price wiki. So for old school RuneScape, this shows all the prices. It shows the most recent buys, sells, and stuff like that. So you can find margins to make money by flipping in RuneScape, which is super profitable. I'll put the link in the description. The website is free, but it does take a little practice to use. I have a couple videos about how to use it and how to find good buys. So make sure you guys check those out as well and get on your way to making tons of money in RuneScape with very little effort. Anyway, moving on. So if we look at some of these items, the better the dip, the better the buy. So like you don't always want to look at your 1 day, but if you look at the 30-day, like some of these dips here for the Cursed Scepter have been really good. Like a couple days ago, you could have bought it for 4.2, and then right now it's 4.7 mil. So if you had just bought it a couple days ago, you'd make 500K for every single one you bought. So again, this doesn't mean you're going to buy it and sell it in the same day. This is more you're buying it, you're waiting for the price to snap back a little bit, and then you'll sell it for the profit. You do have to understand there's always a chance the price keeps going down. Like some of these, for example, I mean, these are like really far apart because this is a whole 1 year chart. But like, for example, say you bought on this dip here, right? Say like 4.6, like it would have kept going down for a while, all the way to 3.5, 3.4, 3.3 before it finally snapped back. So that gap is July 19th all the way to like September. So you can definitely get hung out to dry. If I have a really bad feeling and something's crashing, then usually I'll just sell it and try to get out of it, because having a bunch of money tied up for months is no good either. But anyway, so back to my favorites list. This isn't every item you can flip, but really any of the major items, like sometimes any of the main items you can think of, like twisted bows and stuff like that, probably even have. I've never even looked at twisted bows because I'm not quite there yet. Oh boy. But like, I don't know, if we look at twisted bow, oh my God, you could have made so much money. All right, so T-bows, if you have a little more money, right, you go here, October 12th, you could have bought it for 1.42. And then if you literally sold it a couple days later, you would have made, I don't know, I guess that's actually not that much. It looks really significant, but well, no, that's like 50 million, 60 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Okay. So if you have money to do it with stuff like this, you could buy T-bows when they dip to like 1.45 and then flip them back for 1.5 or 1.55 or whatever, like one, you see what I'm saying here. Like, I'm saying these numbers kind of weird. I'm saying like 5 and 100 and stuff like that, but you get the idea. So anyway, the idea is to buy on dips, but the best items to buy are usually good PvP items and stuff like that, weapons that people are constantly going to be using. Like if we go look at the Abyssal Whip, which again, I haven't looked at this. I'm just going to look at it on the fly here. 30 days. Not crazy dips on the whip here, but I mean, there are some. Like you could buy it here for like 1.3 mil, and then you could have flipped it a couple days later for that. That's really not a great one, actually. That would be a good example of one I'd probably avoid, to be honest with you. But anyway, hopefully this gives you an idea of some of the things. And if you wanted to, you could always go and sort by things that are expensive. So I could just go here like third age felling axes if we want to get crazy. Those don't really sell, so I guess it's not a good example. All right, let's go to like the more expensive items. We need something that actually sells, so something with volume. We'll go to the scythe. All right, so like the scythe, right? We're gonna go 30 days. Boom. These are the dips you want to buy on. So if you see the scythe, like right now it's at like 1.4 bill. Right? But if you saw it at like 1.38, 1.39, then that would be a good time to buy it. And if you hold on just a little bit, you can flip it right there. You'd make 70 mil for every one you had from literally October 12th to October 17th. So this is a good introduction to this. If you guys want more of this kind of stuff, let me know. Kind of threw this together quick, but hopefully it helps some of you guys out. Some of you guys seem to be more interested in the weed stuff. So if you did enjoy this, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe so you guys can see more flipping videos, and I'll be doing more in the future. Thank you, and I appreciate you guys watching.